for Cynthia because I know she'll want to watch it. We have just a couple days left. I'm not quite even at Success Club. I'm at Success Club 4. So I'm pushing really hard, like with people I've had conversations with. I'm offering incentives like Fix8 cookbooks to people and things like that to try and get them to go over the edge of getting a challenge pack. So trust me when I say that everybody struggles in the month of September in Beachbody. Micah Folsom, our like upline, you know, she told Jaylyn just the other day, they were talking, and she's like, September is hard. September is always hard. She's like, I don't know why. You'd think with back to school and everything that people would be like motivated to get going, and she's like, it's just not that way. So don't feel like your efforts this month are going unnoticed or that they are for naught. Because all of us are struggling. Like, did you look at even Jaylyn's leader page? Like her leaderboards this month are so small. We are all like barely gonna pull it out this month. Like I really am like trying to. Hey, go take off your diaper. I'm in the middle of a call. Go sit on the potty and I'll come help you. Yes, come say hello. It's Amber and Lindsay. You want to say hi?
I want to sit on your.
You want to sit on my lap?
Yes.
Okay, but you have to go potty first.
I have to go sit on your lap for just a little while.
Oh, you have to sit on my lap for just a little while. Okay. So anyway,
I have to sit on the potty sometimes too.
Yeah. Anyway, so just know that like it's just been a hard month for everybody, and that doesn't mean you should let up. It doesn't mean you should quit trying because it's been hard or that people aren't like commenting like you want them to be. It just means you just have to stay consistent and keep going and push through it and follow up with everybody you can, start new conversations. And hopefully what this means is if we don't get Success Club this month, that we have a killer October. But push until the very end. I think that it's really easy, like for me in my mind at this point, sometimes it's really easy to let up and be like, oh, well, it's too late. Like I didn't get Success Club. Like I'll just drop it. Like I just won't worry about it. And really it's amazing what can happen in those last couple days of the month if you're hustling. If you stick in it, put your head down, do one more, you know, something, one more transformation. You just never know who's going to be like, oh yeah, I've seen your posts and I want to do that. You know, like you just never know who it's going to be. So try really hard. I'm trying really hard to like, to stay in the game because it's really easy, I think, to like, to let up and I'm trying to talk. I need to, hold on just a minute. Let me finish what I'm saying and then I'll let you talk.
Is there a way that I can like put this on my ear so I can walk into the school?
So mommy.
I don't know. Probably if you do you have headphones?
No.
You can mute yours, I think. You can probably mute it.
Okay, we'll just leave it going. You're good.
Okay, sorry.
You're good. How do I make it so it's a black screen though?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
It's got to be a video only thing, probably. If you scroll to the right on your screen, it should take you to the car mode where you don't see me. You don't see anybody. You just hear sound. There you go. And you're muted. So I can't hear what you're saying for a minute while you're in the school. So anyway, so just try not to let up. Try and like keep your head down and focus these last couple days. And put forth the effort. Just because I know it's easy. I'm trying to do the same thing to keep myself in the game because I'm like, I can do one challenge pack. Like I can do this, you know, like we can figure this out. So,
do we have up until midnight of the last day of the month? Is that like the cutoff or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's midnight Eastern time. So you've got through, what is it? What is that? Saturday? No, Friday?
Friday.
No, honey, I don't want you to play right now, right here by me. Why don't I give you a couple of animal crackers and you can go get another chair? Why don't you go get another chair and you can sit by me? Can we do that, please? Oh. Well, we'll see how this goes. She obviously didn't fall asleep at all. Sorry. Yeah, there's a chair for you to sit on, and I'm going to make a big ruckus while I'm working on getting something for you to snack on. So we'll see how this goes tonight. Maybe she'll go to sleep early. keep pushing it. You've got it. Anyway, how are you, Linz?
Pretty good.
You doing pretty good?
Yeah,
How are things at your house? How's your sweet boy?
they're good. He's on, I've never heard of this before, but apparently here they have fall break. Like I know we had like hunting holiday in Utah, but
Right.
here they call it fall break, and it's like an entire week.
Okay, I don't
So he's had
love
a whole
those.
week off school, but I've had
Just eat those ones first, and then I'll give you some more. So he's got a whole week off of school?
Yeah, but I've had to work every day, so the poor kid, I'm like, sorry, bud, for 6 hours you'll get to entertain yourself.
Oh, that's hard. But I get it.
know.
Like, it happens.
Yep,
You gotta do what you gotta do. How is your job?
it's all right. All it is, it's work from home, and it's pretty much telemarketing. But what I do is people that are interested in school, I actually look up schools for them and link them with an admissions representative.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much
That's
what
not
I'm
bad. It's not like, it's not sales related, like you're calling people
Yeah.
trying to sell them something they don't want,
right.
which is nice.
So I'm doing that for now just to get, a paycheck while I'm
Yeah.
trying to get Beachbody off the ground. And then we're also trying to open up a ceramics company,
Yeah.
ceramics business.
I've
So that I
seen
can-
that.
It's job to do that too. So
Yeah. Busy,
it's a matter of
busy.
juggling everything.
Yes, no, I get it. And I was really glad that last week you talked about the power out, the tracker, like going through that. So that's what I'm actually going to do. I don't know, Amber's, I'm sure, going to hop back on. And I know she's kind of done some version of it on her own, but I'm just going to go through it today. Because it is like, if you do that every day and you do everything on your tracker every day, like it really is kind of like it's like a guaranteed success thing almost. Like if you're doing that, then you'll start to see a change in your business. And that's one of the things like I've slacked off on. I'm doing it, but I haven't been as good at recording it. And there is something to be said for writing it down, putting it down on paper that you did it, because then there is like that evidence that you actually did all of the pieces of it, because it's all important. You can't just do one part of it. You kind of have to do all of it. So this will be really good. So what I'm going to do is we'll go right into that. And this will be good too for Cynthia. I think I'm still recording. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to go into share screen and I'm going to pull up the tracker. You've got it like that you can look at, but you can just,
Yep.
I'm just going to pull up the tracker for anybody who maybe hasn't seen it. Just
Okay.
my desktop. Share screen. I'm still getting used to doing this.
Sorry, I lost you. Are you there?
Yes, we're here.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Hi.
hear you. Hi. Okay, so I'm sharing my
Okay.
screen. What you should-
I can't see the screen because
You're still at pickup. Okay. Well, you can watch the playback, Amber. What was that? Oh, I don't know. She'll just have to watch the playback because she'll be able to see it in the recording of it. Amber, you'll be able to see it in the recording. Okay, so you've got your Power of Threes Daily Power Hour. And the first thing that it says to do is to add to your network.
I didn't, Mom. Can I have enough juice?
Yeah, you can have some more. So the first thing is add to your network. So what you want to do, I'll give you some more after you finish those. Just eat a few at a time, please. The first thing that you want to make sure that you're doing daily, at least 5 days a week. So this is based on a 5-day work week, essentially. Like if you want to take Saturday and Sunday off, that's great. But there are certain things that I would do even on Saturdays and Sundays. And those are like posting and just making connections with people. Like you don't want to quit. You don't want to take 2 days off completely of everything and not post it all on Saturday and Sunday and not like be at least interacting with people, even though you don't have to necessarily like do this full force power hour. So that's why it's got Monday through Friday. But if you want to do Wednesday through Sunday or like whatever works for you, if you want to double up on a day and do 6, like add 6 people one day and that's your Monday and Tuesday, like however you want to work it. The idea with adding to your network is that you are always expanding the people that are seeing your posts. So the thing to be aware of here, there are a couple things that I'm going to say. as far as adding new people to your network goes. First of all, you want to look for people. It's really easy to just like go to your suggestions list in your Facebook, for example, and to just like add 3 people and be like, oh good, I added 3 people. I'm done for the day. But really what's going to benefit you far more is to look for people within those suggestions. It's still very possible to find people in your suggested list, but you want to look for people who you feel like you relate to and who might potentially be somebody who could benefit from what you have to share. So looking for other moms, looking for other people who you know have the same like job kind of situation you do, or the same family situation, or that love pet, like looking for people. Click on their profile for a second and just scroll down and see if it's somebody that you don't know at all, seeing who or what their pictures look like, what their profile picture looks like. Does it have a family in it, or is it a bar scene? Like, and then you make the call as to somebody. If it's somebody you feel like you could relate to, and that, okay, these are all, and then you don't get any more. That's enough animal crackers. I'm really proud of you for doing it. Anyway, so that's the first thing. Make sure that you are adding people who you feel like you could relate to. And the other thing, I try really hard to stress this when I'm adding to my network. There is, when you get to be friends with a lot of Beachbody coaches, you will start to see that your suggestion list has a lot of not only coaches on it, but people who are already friends with 2 and 3 and 4 Beachbody coaches. If I were you, I would steer clear.
Excuse me.
Yes, honey.
I'm gonna sit for your desk. Where are you?
Okay, that's fine if you want to sit there for a little while. I would steer clear of adding those people to your friends list unless you're friends with them. Like, unless you want to just be friends with them. The chances are, if they already have 2 or 3 or 4 Beachbody friends, they are already seeing tons of posts similar to what you're going to be posting, and chances are they probably already have somebody. If they feel like they ever want to get a Beachbody program, they probably already have somebody that they would go to, because they have a closer friend, a closer connection than somebody like that's 3 or 4 levels out. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So those are the couple of things that I would say to kind of steer clear for when you're adding to your network. But like, one of the things at the beginning of my business, especially, that helped me, now I'm mostly adding people I don't know, to be honest, but I'm also a 1.5 years in where I've been adding people from different parts of my life for a year. I think that probably only the last maybe 6 months did I feel like, oh, I'm getting kind of to where I don't really know a whole lot of people. And yet, if I go to here's a couple of tips. Go to a friend from, like, you know, either school or a job, or a childhood friend or something like that, and then look at their friends list and look at suggested names on that list. Almost every time I do that, if I do it strategically with different different times in my life, there are always people that I've missed that are only friends, you know, like, because everybody's got their better friends, but they're all people that I know. It just takes a little bit of digging to find people. So don't feel like you only have to add people you don't know, and you just remember that sometimes it takes a little bit of effort in finding new people that are worthwhile to add to your network. Okay, so that's what I would say there. So you want to add 3 new people every day, at least 3 new people. If you find a gold mine, then add a bunch of people. The only other tip I'll add here, and the only other thing I'll say, is that when you've sent outgoing, not in that drawer, please. That has lots of sharp things in it. You can get that out, but that's the drawer we don't play with, please. The knife drawer. When you have tons of outgoing requests, about once a week, I would go and clear out anybody who hasn't added you back. Facebook doesn't like to see people with 200 outgoing requests or 300 outgoing requests. It looks like you're a robot, like you're spamming people. So I would just occasionally go through and just, oh, very cool. I would go through and just delete the people that haven't added you back as a friend and just move on, you know, and maybe in the future, if you find them again and you add them again, then it's not a huge deal, right? Because they'll either add you back that time or you just go in and delete them again. It's one of those things, like, not a big deal. we'll just keep moving down here. So the next one on here is to build new relationships and add value to. The key here is new relationships. So I think I've said this in a team call before, but this is essentially that you are reaching out to people.
Excuse me. Mommy,
Yes, honey.
let me tell you a book.
Okay, I need you to go. Why don't you go get a book to look at? Oh, you want to look? That one's got CDs in it. Why don't you go get a book from go get a couple books from the bookshelf, and you can come sit down by me and read by me. Okay, while I'm doing my call. Okay. So, it's really easy to get caught in, and I know I've mentioned this before too, but it's really easy to get caught in communicating and commenting on really good friends' posts all the time, and that kind of same network. So the thing about like adding to your network is that those are the people that you should start trying to build relationships with. They should be the people that move down into that next category that you start to look. So, you know, maybe if you add, what I kind of envision in my mind is what I do is like, if I add a few people on Monday and say 2 of them add me back, on Tuesday, those move down into my build new relationships, add value to column. And I go to their profile page. I look at their most recent pictures. And if there's something I can relate to, or I have something to comment or a question to say, or maybe there's somebody I knew, they are somebody I knew from, you know, way back when, you can send them a message and say, hey, it's been so long. How are you? How's your life? And it won't be weird or awkward to them because you've just added them as a friend and it's been a long time since you've talked to them. So it's a natural thing to ask them how they're doing. So those are the kind of things that are going to actually help you build new relationships. And the adding value to part of this is that it's really nice if you can be genuine and show true interest in their posts. So make sure you read them. I think I get stuck sometimes, like I look at a picture and I'm like, oh, that's so cute when they're talking about, and then I'm like, okay, remember, Suzanne, like I do want to be sincere because I really do care about people. Make sure you read their posts, because sometimes I read and I'm like, oh my gosh, that so wasn't like meant to be like about something cute they did, like they got hurt and it was, I don't know, you just never know. So be genuine, be sincere, and really show concern for, or show love for, or really add to them by being genuine and being yourself and commenting. So I would say, like, if you're messaging anybody like that, that counts as a build new relationships, add value to. Any comments you leave on somebody's pictures, or if you write a post on their wall, like being like, oh, it's so great to whatever, see you, that's something that you can do. I want you to sit right here on the chair by me, please. Okay. So you want to do 5 of those a day at least. And I'll be honest, like when it comes to adding value, every time I'm on Facebook, I focus on adding value to people. So I do a lot more of that every day than just 5 people a day. Sometimes it's the same people though, like your list of people that you're trying to build relationships with will grow. And so like I have a bunch of people that when I see a post from them, I make sure to comment. I make sure to show like interest and especially because a lot of these are people that I don't know very well. And so I'm trying to like get to know them. And so when I see them post something, I make a comment. I want them to know I care and that I'm around and I want to build that relationship with them. Does that make sense, Lindsay?
Yep, totally.
Okay.
Now I have a question for you about, like, now that you've gotten to a point where a lot of the people that you're adding are people you don't know, do a lot of them actually end up adding you? Like, are you surprised at how often people do add you?
Yes, because usually I try and add people, even though I don't know them very well. I look and see if they have friends in common with me. And I try not to add people who are complete strangers. But at least I feel like I know a couple of people that they know. And a lot of times if people see that they know, that they have people that they trust in common with you, they are more likely to add you back. If that makes sense. Like if they see, oh yeah, she's friends with Lindsay and with Jalen and with, maybe I know her, I don't remember her, or she's probably a pretty good person and a safe person to add because she trusts the people that she is friends with already. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Because
that's
it all feels like how many mutual friends you have or whatever. and
Yeah.
it'll- Okay.
Yeah. So based on mutual friends, but I also am careful, like if we have 75 mutual friends and the first 5 names that come up are Jalen, Jessica Remington, Kristen Wadsworth, like all of these Beachbody coaches, then I don't add them because I'm already like, nah, like I don't need to fight for that person. We're not close enough that I feel like they would choose me in the end anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hey, go get another story, okay?
Well, and I've run into that a lot. Like people that I'm adding, I'm trying to add that I wasn't friends with in high school or elementary because I started doing that and I noticed like they're friends with everyone in our team almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
And
there's
so
this, yeah.
finding people that like are friends of people that I've met as an adult that don't have that
And
history.
honestly, and I do want to put this out there. If there are good friends of yours that you didn't have added, that really like you had a really strong connection with, that aren't on your, like, you should add them anyway, even if they are friends with all of us, because the reality is they might still choose you over somebody else because of the connection that you've had with them before. So I would just use your judgment there. Like, just, you make the call. You decide whether or not you feel like, oh no, this is somebody I was really close to, or I was pretty close with, or we were in the same group of friends and I'd like to catch up with them anyway. And then I would add them. But if it's somebody who's just like, just an acquaintance, didn't really know them well, then you make the call. Because it's not necessarily bad for somebody to be friends with a bunch of Beachbody coaches. And we all know certain people choose their coaches like based on feeling like they connect with them best. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they wouldn't join with you. Does that make sense? Even though they're friends with a lot of other coaches.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
So you make the call on that. You know what I mean? Like if it's somebody who you'd like to catch up with and you don't really care if they become a customer, then add them anyway. But if the sole purpose is for the opportunity, like to give them the opportunity, then maybe you hold off, and don't invite them to be your friend.
Okay.
Don't invite them to be your friend. That sounds terrible. Okay, so we'll keep moving forward. So invites. This is where you actually write a message to somebody or you voice. So this is huge. If you are struggling to invite people in messages, I would strongly, strongly encourage you to use voice message in the Messenger app. It comes so much more sincere. They can hear the sincerity in your voice, and it's more real. It's not scripted. You can simply say, hey, it's been so nice to see you back on Facebook, or like, it's been so fun to catch up, or whatever, or I've noticed that you've liked my posts about my journey. I have a challenge group starting next week, and I was just really wondering, I really think that you would do well, and was wondering if that would be anything you would be interested in doing a challenge with me. Or if it's the coaching opportunity, hey, I honestly, since I've been doing this coaching thing, have thought about you a ton. I would love to have you on my team. I think you would be a phenomenal coach. Have you ever thought about running a business from home? Or have you ever thought about helping others to live a healthier lifestyle? Have you ever thought about, and asking a question like that when you're talking about the coaching opportunity, really, whether or not they say they're interested right now, it really does open the door for them to think about it. Then they'll start to see your posts more. They'll start to notice your coach. You're adding in coaching into things. They start to see that, and it might eventually turn into somebody who might be like, oh yeah, like I really would like to know more about this. I really would love to see, what it's about. So voice texting would be huge when I say invites. You can also count, like if you do an actual formal invite on your Facebook feed, you could count that as an invite for the day. For sure. Like if you're doing a post that's got a challenge invite or a coaching sneak peek invite in it, then you can count that as one of your invites for the day. But I would strongly suggest that you don't count just those, that you do reach out to people. And this business is so much about getting out of your comfort zone, that reaching out to people and inviting people is a huge part of it. And if you're not reaching out to people who you feel inclined to reach out to, who you've been talking to, or you've been communicating with, or you've been commenting back and forth on each other's posts, and you can, you know, you're friends with them and you really feel like this is something they would love to do, or they've mentioned it but haven't really asked. Giving them that opportunity, that invite, kind of like I gave you, can make the difference. You know, it really can. It can give somebody the confidence that's like, yeah, actually, I have been thinking about it. I just have been too, you know, scared, or it's not the right time, but yeah, in the future, I want to do this, or whatever the case may be. So that's your invites. So you want to try and invite 3 different people each day. Again, this all builds on each other, which is why it's so important to do all the pieces of it. When you're building new relationships with people and adding value to their day or to their lives, those people become the people that you're going to invite. So you just, it totally is it's a build, it's a, I don't know, a compound, it's totally a compound effect business. If you're not building relationship with people, then it's going to be harder and it's going to be more awkward to invite them to a challenge group. But if you're always adding new people to your network and then building relationships with them and then inviting them, it's a very natural thing to do. Yes, honey. I can't right now because I'm still doing the call. In just a few minutes, I'd be happy to, okay? Can you go get one more book to read while I'm on my call? Okay. Praise the heavens, she likes books. So, okay, we're going to keep moving down this list so that I'm not on here. I just don't want to take like the rest of your day. Present the business. So this is one that's like, oh my gosh, do I have to do like a coaching post every day? So if you actually look on the post I just did right before this call, that counts for presenting the business. I talked about how it was snowing outside and that I wasn't ready for that because we literally have snowflakes falling today.
Oh man.
Yeah. And that I'm not ready for that. However, the next thing I said was, but I am getting ready for my team call. And I'm so excited to visit with my girls. We inspire, we uplift, we encourage, we to meet our goals, all of those things that I really do feel like with you guys. Like, I love associating with you. I love the relationships that we have. And so I said, but I am ready for that. And I'm excited to visit with these girls. I never realized coaching would give me such an opportunity to be a leader and to help people in so many different ways. And then I just put a little heart and I said, now I'm going to go grab some tea and my blankie. So it's very much what we call the breadcrumbing thing. Did I do a formal, come find out what it is like to be a coach? No, that's actually a huge turnoff to people when they see stuff like that all the time, especially. Like, you should do one every once in a while where it's like, yeah, we're going to do a sneak peek. We have a sneak peek once a month. So that week before the sneak peek, you should be talking coaching like crazy, just sprinkling it in every day. But if you are doing this 5 times a week, I am promising that when you post about a sneak peek, you will have at least one person. You will have probably way more than that. If you sprinkle in little bits of coaching, oh, I was checking in with a challenger, or I was checking into my challenge group, or I was having a conversation with my coach today about blah, 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 blah. Or it's so nice to have these friends that I've made in coaching, but all like you sandwich it in between something like, I don't want it to snow and I'm going to go grab my blankie. So it doesn't feel like I'm just spouting off about coaching.
Right.
So you want to try and do that like 5 days a week, 5 times a week, not 5 days a week. That's one that like you can do different times of day, different days of the week, just trying to remember to in some way add in coaching in different little ways and in different little places because, no thanks, honey, in just a second, okay, yeah. Oh, those are poops. The little doggy pooped in your book. That's so nice. So breadcrumb coaching and presenting the business can either be the breadcrumbing coach post that you do, or it can actually be an invite into a coaching sneak peek. Okay. The next one is really self-explanatory. This check-in thing. Checking in daily is super important. So you want to check into our team page. Right now, I don't have an Illumination Nation team page. It's something I'm working on. I'm trying to build a few more coaches under me to feel like it's not just like an extension of our message thread. So, but always check Motivation Nation's team page. Every day you should check there. And just to see what's going on. Jalen posts in there, the other leaders post in there. I don't post a whole lot, but it's really informative. And this actual form, this challenge tracker, or the Power Hour tracker, is the very first file in the files of the Motivation Nation coach page. So if you don't know where this is, or you don't know how to find it, or you need it, you need to find a copy of it for another coach you're trying to train or whatever, it is the very first file in that group. So check in with the coach page, check in with our challenge group, and with your trainings. You guys, I think all of you are plugged into Micah's trainings. If you are not, you should be, and you should be doing it daily, at least a little bit every day, like 15 minutes, doing something training-wise, whether it's getting on with one of Micah's videos or looking something up on Google or YouTube that you feel like you're lacking in. Doing training is huge. I spent so I have this 2 hours of nap time, and I always try to spend like 20 or 30 minutes doing some kind of training. And I still try and do that because it really helps you to move forward. It really helps you to learn and to grow. And I can tell you certain things about your business till I am blue in the face. And it's not going to click for you guys in some areas until you hear it from somebody else in a different way. That's part of the reason why we do trainings with other coaches, is because it really does help to solidify, and you hear things from other perspectives and you see why they're doing it. Like lighting in your pictures is absolutely huge. If your pictures look crappy, people are going to scroll past them. They won't look. They won't even look at your pictures. So something as simple as turning around your body, but that takes practice. Different parts of posting and having interesting posts, things like that. Anyway, so training, here's my plug for it. Make sure that you're just taking that little bit of time, whether it's late at night for 15 minutes before you go to sleep, or like in the morning when you're getting ready, if you turn on one of Micah's trainings, or like I said, just finding in those there's always little cracks. And one of the things about this is that nobody expects you to spend your whole day doing this. But you've got to be willing to look for the cracks and to fill them in with things that are going to help move your business forward. That 15 minutes it takes me to do my makeup, I'm either listening to personal development, or I'm listening to like a general conference talk, like a spiritually uplifting thing, or I'm listening / watching to a training. Like that's really just like one of the times of my day when I'm standing in front of a mirror. I don't need to focus on my makeup. That's pretty, straightforward. And I try to be productive with that time. Okay. So there's the training. And then you want to look in your back office. If you don't know how to check in your back office, sis, can you quiet down for a minute, please? Oh, you want this book? We can't play with that one right now. It's not one that we're going to play with. Okay. The back office has all of your information, your commissions, orders that go through, when your orders are going to go through. So, and the only thing I'm going to say about this, and if you want help checking, and I can do just a short video that I can post on my YouTube page about how to get into your back office. I know I can see I'm running shorter on time, so I want to keep going in the tracker. But one of the things you always want to make sure is that if you have somebody order a challenge pack from you, that you go into your back office and check to make sure that it went through on your end, that you can see that in your orders, because in your back office, in your previous office view, you can see all of that immediately. So right after they say they've purchased a challenge pack, you want to go into your previous office view in your online office and make sure it goes through, so that it didn't go to another coach or something else crazy. We're not going to look at that right now. I will look at it with you after I'm done with my phone call. Here's your other 2 books. Okay, that's one.
And that office is just our Coach Online, right? Where everything, where it lists our online
Coach
and
Online office, and then previous office view. So so that's the back office is your Coach Online office.
Okay.
The previous office view is where you can see your orders immediately. They won't show up in your Coach Online office. They will show up in the previous office view.
Okay.
So again, if that's something you're confused about, let me know, and I could totally do a little video about how just the different things that offers. And Beachbody, like if you sign into your coach page, they have an entire training on the back office and all the things that you can do with the back office. So there's tons of resources there. Maybe we can do that for another training, like go through some of that through Beachbody's website. And on your own personally sponsored coaches. So that's you checking in with Jaden and your husband. pretty easy on that end, but you should daily be checking in with people. And for you guys too, I think it's checking in with challengers, checking in with potential people, those kind of things. So as we keep going down here, your Facebook posts are the next thing. You want to have at least 3 Facebook posts a day. Between 3 and 5 is really what's optimal. And I've noticed that like I'm pretty consistent with 3. I can get 3 in there pretty good every day. Some days I'm at 2 and I'm like, oh, dang it, too much of the day has gone by. But throw in something funny, throw in something about what's going on in your afternoon. And this is something that Jalen and I talked about yesterday. Actually, I was talking with her and she brought up, she's like, Suze, she's like, make sure to remind your coaches to answer that question, so what? Like, I'm posting about this, so what? What value does it add? What does it add? Is it adding, like, your Tooth Fairy post about Sean was so cute, and it added, like, laughter. It was cute. It was funny. It was a great idea. Like, that definitely added value. And so if you are asking yourself that question, like, oh, I am trying to convey to my friends, like my post earlier, how much I really do love coaching, you know, and how much I love the relationships of it. So that's my so what. That's why I'm doing it. And if you're just throwing something out there to throw it out there, occasionally that's all right, especially if it's like a funny thing your kids like, whatever. But for the most part, you really want to be able to answer that question, so what? 3 posts, at least one of them, just one of them really should be about fitness, nutrition, Beachbody, just one. The others really should be about other things in your life. So you don't want to overkill, and you want to make sure that with that one post that you're doing about your health and fitness and nutrition, you want to make sure it adds value for sure. Whether it's the recipe that you made for dinner, or that it's that you pushed yourself really hard in your workout. And you know, because it's one thing to post workout videos, but it's quite another to talk about the struggle that it was that day, or the change that you've seen, or the ability, like you've mentioned before, the upping my weights. I feel stronger. I wanted to share this because I really do feel like, you know, I am stronger. Okay, so 3 posts today on Facebook. You just write in what it was that you posted. Follow-ups. These are with potential customers, like anybody you've been talking to about challenge groups, anybody you've been talking to about coaching, any of your challengers, any of your coaches, any potential anybody's. This is where you look up and where you've done your invites. You want to follow up with people. Message them a couple days later. Hey, I never did hear back from you. I wanted to know, are you interested? If not, blah, 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 it's fine, whatever. You know, like, but you need to follow up with the people that you're talking to. People get busy, and especially where it's something that they're not sure that they really need, or that they for sure want, it just goes on the back burner. And it doesn't mean that they necessarily don't want it, but it just means that they're busy, and you need to take the initiative to reach back out and say, hey, I was thinking about you, wanted to know how you are, and just check in. And that's all it has to be. And if it doesn't come back up again, then you know that they weren't interested or whatever. But if it does, then great. You never know. So make sure you're following up with people. The last things are just your everyday things. Your workout every day, check it off. Shakeology every day, check it off. Personal development every day, at least 10 minutes. And again, that's one of those things that I highly suggest fitting into the cracks, so that you don't feel like you're having to find all this time